But I am here to register my sincere condolences to the family that have a child who died, okay, in the market, custom market today. So that is that. Secondly, I also want to register my sincere frustration and sadness with the people of South Sudan that lost their markets, lost their stores, lost their belongings in the tragedy of custom market. I made a show yesterday and I said who is behind the market, and I said it. Now I'm here to register my sincere apology, my sincere sadness to those who lost their stores, lost their belongings, lost what they do to put food on the table for their families. I totally stand with you, and I understand how you feel. Okay, I may not be living in your shoes, but I understand what you're going through. So that is that. And I do have a sincere message to Adut Kiir. So please share my message so it will reach her. But before I do, I just want to say that this God of South Sudan, this God of South Sudan is amazing in so many ways. And we can interpret it in so many different ways. Depend what you see, depend what you have gone through. أنا دا أقول لعيال الجنوبيين الماتوا في ناصر. First, Riek Machar was accused of so many things that he did not commit it. This time around, arrested, humiliated, and the same person who arrested him, humiliated him, ended up going through exactly the same thing. Secondly, the children, the elderly, the women, the youth that went through fire in Nasser. It happened to be that we are going through the same thing, just in the other side of the corner of South Sudan. And when my brothers and sisters were screaming and crying, I remember there were some people here, في platform to Facebook, بقول no, this is not South Sudan. This is outside of South Sudan. There is no such thing as happening in South Sudan. ما في حريقة في South Sudan. There is nobody is burning in South Sudan. Only a few believed and knew that فعلا there was something happening في Nasser. Okay. Now we are experiencing another fire. We are experiencing another fire. Now we can speak confidently and acknowledge what happened in Nasser, acknowledge what our brothers and sisters were describing. The only difference is that it is happening to innocent people, the same innocent people that were in Nasser. The same innocent people. ناس ما عندهم علاقة بالبيحصل. ناس ما عندهم طرف من بيحصل. Okay? ربما يكون في ناس، ربما يكون في مستفيدين، ربما يكون في أشخاص معينة، أشخاص منظمة ورا الحريقة بتاع سوق كاستم. ربما يكون في ناس معينة مستفيدين، لكن الحقيقة هي حقيقة إنه في ناس فعلا ما مستفيدين، اللي هم مواطنين العاديين الجنوبيين اللي ما عندهم دعوة باللي بيحصل في جنوب السودان. But they are suffering. Okay? They are suffering. The same way إنه كان عندنا أخواننا وخلاننا وأبوهاتنا وأجدادنا وعيالنا كويس وأخواننا في ناصر they were suffering and they were not part of what was happening. لكن ده يا جنوب السودان، ده يهو جنوب السودان، كويس، ده يهو جنوب السودان. فأنا حسبهم بصراحة، وأنا مو مركب بوش، لا ده حقيقة أنا حسبهم. فمن غير سياسة، كويس، من غير سياسة، من غير إنه إحنا نروج الحاصل، نكون صريحين ونكون واضحين مع بعض، يعني كإخوة كجنوبيين من نفس الدولة. ما في سبب واحد إن إحنا جا من بعض، وذر إنه الاتهام بيتوجه للناس اللي زعلوا عشان كان في قوانين جديدة للسوق وزعلوا وحرقوا السوق، ولا لونه في يكون جروب وطرف تاني كان دايرين يحرقوا السوق عشان إنه هم يزعلوا الشعب والشعب يطلع برا ويحصل ثورة جديدة. whatever the case is، or whether إنه حصل فعلا naturally، لأنه فعلا ده is common وبيحصل كتير في جنوب السودان. so whatever the case is، لحد الآن we don't have any answers. we don't have any answers إنه what happened. لكن على العموم أن إحنا ما ممكن ننكر إنه فعلا there was a damage. أن إحنا ما ممكن ننكر إنه في ناس خسروا. أن إحنا ما ممكن ننكر إنه ده يعني السبب لنا حزن كبير. okay، especially around the holidays، فده حاجة محزنة أكيد. okay، فأن إحنا ما ممكن ننكر ذلك. لكن أنا داير أقوله كالعادي، أيوة نعم، some of you have seen where my picture, Adut Kiir picture and a wall being put together. You definitely have seen pictures taking place where Lina Parek is not in opposition. Lina Parek now is united with government supporters. لا، اللي بيجمعني مع كونيول، واللي بيجمعني مع أمير علي، واللي بيجمعني مع دور كير، أن إحنا بنات وراب. ولو في زول اختار to abuse both of us just إن إحنا بنات وراب، ده الحاجة اللي بيلمنا. أكواجة عارفة ومقتنعة إنه أنا I am an opposition، وما في حاجة غير ذلك. فده حاجة اللي بيجمعنا إنه إحنا بنات وراب. لكن الحقيقة حيكون إنه أنا اخترت أكون opposition، وما اخترت أكون opposition ساكت. اخترت أكون opposition عشان أنا فعلا دايرة تغيير، عشان أنا فعلا محتاجة حاجة اسمه radical change لجنوب السودان. أوكي، فما في حاجة يجمعنا سياسيا، لكن اللي بيجمعنا اجتماعيا، لأن إحنا من وراء وإساءة جاء من حتة معينة، جاء لينا نحن كبنات وراب. كويس، ده ما عنده علاقة بسياسة، لكن عنده علاقة بإنه إحنا جايين من منطقة معينة، ولو نحن جايين من منطقة معينة إذن لازم إحنا نقف مع بعض. فنحن واقفين مع بعض عشان جاء إساءة معينة لينا نحن كبنات وراب. وأنا ما ممكن أنكر الحاجة ده، لأن أنا فعلا من وراب. كويس، ولو جاء أي إساءة لينا نحن كبنات وراب فده حاجة بيجمعنا، لكن سياسيا ما في حاجة بيجمعنا. وعشان ما في حاجة بيجمعنا سياسيا، أنا بجي هنا بالمنتهى الكورج، وبجي بقول لأدوت أختي بالوراب. أوكي، أنا بجي هنا بالمنتهى الكورج، بمنتهى الشجاعة، وأقول لأدوت أختي الحقيقة. ربما إنه في ناس ممكن يخافوا ما يقولوا الحقيقة دي، لكن ما في حاجة يخوفني، لأنه أنا ما اخترت أكون opposition من غير سبب. في حاجة خلاني إنه أنا أكون معارضة. أنا لما اخترت أكون معارضة، ما في زول اتصل بي وقال لي يا لينا بريق خليك معارضة. أنا براي اللي اخترت أكون معارضة. أنا براي اخترت أحارب من أجل التغيير. أنا براي، ما في زول اتصل بي ما في زول قال لي لينا بريك تكوني معارضة. فأنا هنا الليلة عشان أخلي رسالة لأدود أختي، أوكي، لأدود أختي كبد ورب، كhonorable، okay, somebody that holds a very important position, somebody who dreamed that she can actually take her father's position, somebody that was part of the corruption, somebody that is part of all of it all. And there is no way we can take her out of it. She is part of it. She is part of this chapter. She is part of this regime. There is no way we can rewrite the chapter for us to fit Adut in it. She is in it, and she is part of the chapter. وما في زول حيقول الحقيقة ده إلا أخته. Okay, لينا بريك من نفس المنطقة، من نفس الستيت. Okay, فأنا داير أقول لأدوت، أدوت أول حاجة let us disregard the conspiracy of who did what, who is behind the costume burning, who is behind whatever is happening. Let us put all of that aside. But let us look at the reality. Let us look at the things that we cannot deny. Let us look at the things that we felt as European. Okay? Let us disregard who is behind الحريقة بتاع سوق كاستم. لكن كان في حاجات حصلت ان احنا ما بنقدر نمسحها وما بنقدر to pretend احنا ما شفناه. ده كان حاجات واضحة. ودود انا لينا بريك عشت حياتي كله في كندا. انا جيت كندا هنا as a teenage. I did my studies here. I work here as a professional. Okay, I have a decent job. I am not desperate to go to South Sudan. And I am not begging for anybody to help me. I am comfortable. I can pay my bills. I am living comfortably. So, لما نتكلم معاكي أنا ما محتاجة أي حاجة منك. إنما أنا بتكلم معاكي كمواطنة جنوبية. Okay, that is something that you need to know, because you always talk with people that want something from you. But I am talking with you as someone who doesn't want anything from you. Okay? First of all, I am Jing. Second of all, I am from Warab. Third of all, I am a woman. And fourth of all, you and I want the interest and the best for this country. And fifth of all, you are in Australia and I am in Canada. And I have a professional job, so I don't need to be part of your government. I don't need money. I don't need to please you in any way. أنا ما محتاجة خالص. I am only here to tell you what others cannot tell you. I am only here to face you and to tell you what you did not actually hear. So Adut, you have gone. You went there. You have seen custom market burned down to ashes. انتو شفت الزنكي، شفت المحل. You have seen how crowded it is. I will be mixing languages يا جماعة. You have seen how mixed. شفت الزنكي، شفت التعب، شفت كل شيء. Adut. And you cried. You cried. وانا ما بعرف انت when you cried هل انت بكيتي عشان السوق هرق ولا انت بكيتي عشان الطفل المات in the fire ولا انت بكيتي عشان انت كنتي مستغربة انه دولتك في هذا الصورة، ولا انا ما بعرف هل انت بكيتي عشان تتعاطفي مع الناس ولا عشان الناس تتعاطفوا معاكي. أنا ما بعرف هل أنت بكيتي عشان حسيتي بالنسوان اللي كان بكركو في السوق ماركت، أوكي، اللي هو في سوق كاستم قصدي، ولا أنتي بكيتي عشان أنت بتشيلي قروش منهم شهريا. يعني revenue authority بيشيل قروش من الناس ديل. and you the first to collect the money when you do not deliver the services that these people need. فأنا داير أعرف أنت بكيتي عشان شنو؟ بكيتي عشان أنتوا دولتك في هذا الطريقة، في هذا environment، ولا عشان أنت بكيتي عشان في طفل مات، ولا عشان أنت بكيتي إنه كان في نسوان بكوركو، ولا عشان أنت بتكوركي because people were devastated، ولا عشان أنت بتكوركي إنه you cannot, there is no place and time that you cannot compensate these people. There is no way. Where were you crying because you're part of the destruction itself? كنت بتكوركي عشان شنو عدود؟ بتكوركي because انت كنت بتاخدي taxes from these people and you do not deliver the services these people need. Is that what made you to cry? Or did you cry because there was a child that died? Or did you cry because of the people's frustration and devastation? Or did you cry because your country, under your father's leadership, in the last decades, it was still under Zinke, unorganized, okay? Unorganized. I'm not judging her feelings. I just want to know what she felt, okay? Hayat, I am not judging her feelings. I just wanted to know what she felt, okay? Or are you crying because you just realize how vulnerable and how unfunctional, okay, as your country is. فأنا ما أعرف إنت correct عشان شنو بالضبط كده. Whatever the case is, Adut, I told you last time when I did my show, I said, Adut, we will support you because you are a woman. And I will not judge you based on your dad, because you're a different individual, you're a different person, and you have your own identity. Okay? You have your own character. So I'm not gonna judge you based on what your dad has done. You could have been better. And I told you that women of South Sudan will support you. Not simply because you're a woman, but simply because you chose to be part of this. Here I am, this is my second time, Adut, coming out to ask you again. Iti masheti souk will correct your lela. So what I want to tell you, Adut, this is the country. This is the country. Nyanwe rap. Nyan Monjang. Honorable Adut. A woman who has a dream that she can replace her dad. Adut, I am asking you, this is the country that your dad led for almost 20 years. Okay? من 2005 ل 2011 الجنوب السودان became independent, ومن 2011 ل 2025. This is the country your dad led, Adut. This is the country that you, behind the scenes, you were collecting the resources of this country, Adut. And you are not innocent, my dear. You are the woman behind the scene collecting the resources of this country. Behind the scene, you are the woman that was corrupt, do not care of developing this country. Behind the scene, Adut, you are the one running all the companies that your dad was operating and looting the money of this country. Behind the scene, Adut, you closed your eyes and you pretended to be blind to not see what South Sudan was going through. Behind the scene, you were enriching yourself, enriching your family, preparing for your exit, building a palace. Adut, you were busy building a palace in Tanzania. Busy for your exit with your father. Exiting with your family. While South Sudan was left behind in the dust. And ironically, your dad became ill and you decided that you want to take over. Your dad became ill, suffering with Alzheimer. Incapable to run this country. And you decided to step in and you decided to finish what your dad has started. And the people of South Sudan welcome you and gave you the chance, okay? While we all knew that you were not far away from the corruption itself. So I am telling you now that you went to market, okay, custom market, you have seen it burning down and you are crying. Did you now realize, Adut, that for 14 years, for 20 years, that your dad has been in the ministry, your dad has been a president of South Sudan? Did you realize that we don't have a functional fire department? Adut, did you realize that? Did you realize that Junub Sudan does not actually have a fire department functioning? Did you just realize that? هل انت اكتشفتي انه اسواق بتاع جنوب السودان كله زنكي ورواكيب؟ Adut, while you were collecting every single gold mining money, Adut, you were collecting every mining money, putting it in your pocket, Habibti Ana. You were busy enriching yourself, enriching your family, enriching your whole in dynasty. You were making your own dynasty in Junub Sudan. Every single hole, every single mine, you were the one responsible of collecting the money of every natural resources in South Sudan, Adut. Did you just realize now that aswak بتاع جنوب السودان كله زنكي 14 سنة و20 سنة من 2005 لحد الآن 20 سنة أدوت 20 سنة وأبوك الرئيس وأسواق بتاع جنوب السودان كله زنكي ورواكيب. Did you realize that? Did you realize that the people you hired revenue authority to collect the money from the same masakin, dagakinom berawaki buzinki Adut, the people that you pressure every day, you fire and you bring somebody new in for revenue authority, is squeezing that minister عشان يجيب لك القروش من مواطنين أبرياء، مواطنين ما عنده أي حاجة أساسا أدود، مواطنين ما عنده أي شيء، ما في حاجة فضل معهم. And you are squeezing them like sardine, dude, to take the money from them. وما عندهم أي حاجة، ما عندهم أي شيء أساسا عشان يدوك لهم، لأنه أسواقهم كلهم رواكيب وزنكي. هل اكتشفتي الليلة إنه جنوب السودان دكاكينهم كلهم رواكيب وزنكي؟ هل اكتشفتي إنه في الزمن ده كله إنه أبوكي رئيس there is no fire department functioning؟ هل اكتشفتي إنه Juba as a city is not designed and is not developed for 12 million? The last census that we had as a country, it was 12 million population of Juba, Sudan. And Juba is not designed for 12 million. Juba is not developed for 12 million. Juba does not have services for 12 million. Adut, did you just realize that? Did you realize the people you were collecting the money from قاعدين في السوق ما مخطط؟ قاعدين في السوق ما مخطط. But إنت ما كنت فاضية إنه السوق مخطط ولا لا. You were busy إنه revenue authority to collect taxes from ناس مساكين ما قادرين أساسا يعيشوا. ناس مساكين ما قادرين أساسا يعيشوا. وفي النهاية أدود السوق اتحرق. whether إنه كان فعل or whether إنه اتحرق براو, either way they need compensation أدود, because you're collecting taxes منهم. You're collecting taxes from them. Are you going to compensate them? Absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. ليه? Because first of all, you do not structure those markets بطريقة الصح. And now we are paying the prices for it, Adut. Because you were busy collecting money. You were not busy structuring the market. You were not busy to have insurance in place. You were not busy to make sure that every person who actually sells something in that market is registered. Like you cared so much in collecting money from everyone حتى الزول الفارش حياته في الواطة قصدي. حتى الزول اللي كان فارش حياته في الواطة you want to collect taxes from. And finally, guess what? You couldn't even protect حاجاته. Okay? أول حاجة, it took many hours for fire department to arrive. whether إنه الموضوع ده كان فعل whether إنه ما كان فعل, but the problem is still remain. إنه السوق does not meet the standards. Adut does not meet the standards. السوق كبير زي ده في South Sudan that is responsible of half the economy of the country is not in the standard. Adut, it's not in the standard. ومع ذلك it took fire department a few hours for them to arrive. And by the time they arrive, they don't even have the equipment to actually control the fire. تقدر تقولي لي إنه fire department what it will cost you and your father, Adut, if you would have give up just 10 containers of oil, wouldn't that fix fire department issue? If you, with your greed, if you do not give up, if you do not give up taxes and use that money toward fixing a fire department, equitable, accredited fire department that is approved internationally, wouldn't that save all that chaos? لكن شوفي الجريد between you and your dad وصلكم لوين. دولة 14 سنة و20 سنة ما قدرتوا تعملوا fire department زي الناس. ما قدرتوا تستابلش a market زي الناس. ما قدرتوا to prepare a city, a capital city ل 12 مليون. أدود وانتي خريجة of economics هنا في أستراليا. خريجة economics أدود, you are not just anybody. انتي خريجة economics في university هنا في أستراليا. You understand the need of what the market need to function. You understand the bylaws and the rules of a market to function. Adut, did you imply that? But no, you were busy collecting. You were busy, Adut. You were busy collecting revenues من الناس المساكين اللي ما عندهم دكاكين. What did you do, my dear sister? من ما تجيتي. What did you do? انتي عملتي شنو exactly? I just wanted to know what did you do. انتي بخشمك قلتي انا مكتبي فاتح لرفيجيز. انا اتصلت برقمك، الرقم اللي انتو قلتيه ده انا اتصلت فيه actually just for me. I wanted to know لو كان فاتح فعلا. And guess what, Adut? That number ما كان فاتح. First of all, I was asked so many questions. And third of all, I was not able to reach you. This was the first phone in you. It was unreachable. It was literally a fake number. بعد كده with my own connection جيت رقمك الرقم اللي انت قلتيه اساسا يعني your actual WhatsApp. ولما انا اتصلت في واتساب اللي انت قلتيه كويس رغم دون ما هي دي النمبر اللي انت قلتي انه our number is still public, is still open. That number that you said that was open to public actually doesn't work. But I tried another number that was given to me with my connections. I called you because I want to hold you accountable to what you said. Adut, and that number was not working. That number was not working. And when I tried the number that I got based on my connections, that number, I was asked so many questions. And at the end of the day, I was not able to reach you. وانا بس كنت داير اثبت الكلام اللي انتوا قلتيه في public, it has nothing to do with what you're doing behind the doors. Behind closed doors, what you said has nothing to do with that, Adut. You said that you were going to stand with refugees and you didn't. You failed to do that. You said every refugee should call me and we will be there. How were the refugees going to call you? They're coming from a very horrific, terrifying situation. Some of them don't even have phone calls. Well, how were they going to call you? It was you supposed to reach them. But instead, you were asking them to call you. Because you know they're not going to reach you anyways. But you want to lie to the public that your telephonic maftuh and public can actually reach you. That was a lie, Adut. You lied to the people of South Sudan. You lied to refugees. You give hope to refugees while you know you don't have the services, you don't have the ability, you don't have the capacity to serve the general public that needed your help. That was a lie, Adut. And you actually misled the people of South Sudan. You misled those you promised that you were going to stand there. Were you there? When they were being chased for Sudan, were you there? Did you have actually any plan in place to get these people out of Sudan? No, you didn't. You wanted only the refugee that landed in South Sudan to be the one to call you. Not the one اللي هم كان فعلا في المشكلة وهم دايرين مساعدة بتاعتك. The last people that were kicked out وحاجاتهم كانوا في الشارع, were you there to help? Adut, were you there to help? No, you didn't. You lied to the people of South Sudan. The same way you showed up today, Fisu Custom, dressed up in a fancy suit. Adut, you were not going to a meeting. You were not going to a press conference. You're going to meet devastated people. And you were dressed in a fancy, untouchable suit. وده الحاجة اللي أثبت لي إنه you're not there for the people. You were dressed up in a fancy suit. Fancy suit. And you are going to meet devastated people that lost their stuff. Devastated people that were crying. Devastated people that lost their lives. Devastated people that burned in that fire. لا, with shayakti, with anakti. And you showed up there, Adut. Okay? Were you there for the people? Or were you there to make a history? Were you actually there, Adut? And I'm challenging you, Kenyan Marab. Were you there for the people? Or were you there to actually show up? Okay? Just for the history to know that you were the first active minister who show up wherever there is a situation. أنا بالنسبة لك Lina Parek, you are there to show up for history. You were there to show up for pictures, beautiful picture for history. not because you were there for the people of South Sudan, Adut. You were not there for the people of South Sudan. If you were there for the people of South Sudan, okay, you would have showed up humble. You would have stood there and listened. But no, you showed up في آخر ساعات. You showed up في الزمن كل شيء خلاص اتحرق وانتهى. Everything was ashes. أخذت راحتك وجيت بالراحة. لكن if your heart was for the people, you would have showed up earlier than that. But you didn't. إنت ما عملت كده أدود. وأنا بقول لك الكلام ده كان يرمونجا كان يرواراب. كتير. لأنه لينا بريكا كلوي كاوي بكايا تيتوين ما بحبهم. That's what you did, Adut. You showed up just to make a history. And you showed up. Okay. But now that you know 20 سنة. 20 سنة. And we don't have markets. With the kharija of economics. How do you feel? Kharijat economics, Adut, how do you feel to know that your country, 20 years later, we still have major markets, Barawakip, Uzinki? How do you feel? How do you feel to know that you have major markets that fire department cannot reach? How do you feel? How do you feel to know that after 20 years of your father's leadership, you cannot even control a fire? How do you feel? How do you feel to know that you have set up a system that collects money, but it does not compensate? How do you feel? How do you feel that you have pressured the people of South Sudan, sucked them to the bone with something they don't even have? Market that are not even protected. Compensation that is not even guaranteed. And here you are, crying, misleading them once more time. How do you feel? How do you feel as someone who actually have hope that you could actually be a potential leader and you could replace your father? Because I know that's what you guys are thinking. Okay? Somebody's asking me if that is the job that I do. So how do you feel though, Adut? How do you feel as somebody who actually has hope that she can take over her father's leadership? How do you feel? And how do you feel that you've been digging South Sudan resources for your own interest, for your own benefit, and you left South Sudan dry, poor, hungry, angry, frustrated, hopeless, hate themselves to the maximum? How do you feel? How do you feel when you are driving around the city and you see the city is not developed enough, and the resources that's supposed to develop this country is in your hands, you, your uncle Gorgori, and your father? How do you feel? How do you feel to be in a country ما في حاجة اسمه حكومة أساساً that is functional, and that is functional? ما في حاجة. And you know the difference between functional and functional. How do you feel? How do you feel that now that you are kept behind the scene to collect the money, to keep the country stagnant, to keep the country poor, to keep the country frustrated, undeveloped, needy? And now you felt that your dad is in need and you want to take over the leadership. And now you are faced with Shab, Za'lan, شعب تعبان. Okay, شعب that saw it all. How do you deal with that, Adut? How are you going to convince them? How are you going to face them? How are you going to speak to them? What kind of comforting words are you going to find to tell them? What kind of comforting words are you going to find to tell them? حتى الناس اللي بيساعدوك ويقفوا معك هيقول لك شنو؟ What can they actually say to defend you? How do you feel when you double gross taxes every month, every year? لما المواطن العادي ما قادر يشتري بضاعة، ما قادر يفرش، ما قادر يكون عنده دكان أساسا، لأنه المطلوب منه أكبر من what they can afford. Okay? وبدا كله ما كان عندك رحمة. If they don't pay, they cannot be in the market. ما كان عندك رحمة. For my question to you is that these people إنت ما كنت عندك رحمة ليهم. But now table has changed. هما ما عندهم رحمة ليكي. You need to compensate them, Adut. لو إنتوا فعلا عندكم قلب وإنتي عندك إحساس وإنتي عارفة إنتوا حتكوني معانا شوية لقدام, you need to compensate these people. Then you've been taking taxes from them. You have undeveloped market. You have unstructured market. Okay? You have undeveloped country for it to have insurance. Okay? So, my dear, you need to find ways to compensate these people. That's حقيقة. You gotta find ways. Otherwise, there was no need of you visiting them in the first place. There was no need, Adut, to visit them in the first place. That is the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is that immediately القروش اللي انت سرقتيه into أبوكي, you need to get half of it out and develop fire department. Send them for courses, do whatever you want to do, but make sure that في fire department in South Sudan that is equipped, that is approved. Do that. تالت حاجة, my dear, you want to make sure that the market is structured. So first thing, everybody that lost their belongings في fire, they need to be compensated. Number two, my dear, there have to be accredited fire department in place. That is the only right thing you can actually do. وما تقول لي ما عندك قروش. You need to find ways to dig down, تشيل القروش اللي انتوا شلتوه في بيت بولميل and put it in the fire department. لأنه القروش اللي انتوا شلتوه في بيت بولميل قروش كتير. That money was a lot, Adut. That money was a lot. الذهب اللي انتوا شلتوه في بيت بولميل ده كان كتير. Dedicate that money to fire department and build accredited, reliable, okay, well-equipped professionals to work in the fire department. Do that. Okay, so that is two. Number two, moving forward, make sure that أسواق بتاع جنوب السودان they are well restructured. أسواق بتاع جنوب السودان يا دود, make sure they're well restructured. Well restructured. So don't just collect money from people, but make sure they're well restructured. And there have to be insurance in place. والقروش اللي انتوا بتشيلوه من الناس, which is number 3, or number 4, القروش اللي انتوا بتشيلوه من الناس, make sure you reduce that number بشوية. Because you take too much for the services you offer. Okay? You take so much, Adut, for the services you offer as a government. You don't offer so much. خالص. So you don't have right to take so much taxes when you don't offer so much services. So there have to be an insurance company. والcompany لما يكون له علاقة بيك انتي. There have to be insurance company that actually protects these areas. And there have to be a structured market. عشان احنا نكون عارفين and this is actually a market, a credit market. Adut. Alright? And there have to be regulation in the market. الإيجار بيكون بكم والtaxes بيكون بكم. يعني انت ما ممكن تشيلي والجنرالات تانيين يجوا بوراك ويشيلوا براهم. There have to be a clear road map عشان الناس ديل يكونوا عارفين. That's all I can tell you, Yanabai. Other than that, there is no way. You cannot give people a crocodile tears. عشان تمثلي اللي انت زعلانة وتمثلي اللي انت محروقة مع الناس while you don't have a concrete solution to the problem, then that's just crocodile tears. While you're going to wake up tomorrow and collect the money from the people, that is crocodile tears, Adut. There have to be a logical solution. There have to be a strategic solution. And not just any strategic solution. There have to be economical business solution that can actually get these people out. There have to be. And you understand this very well. You have degree in economics. So you understand the rules. So you need to do something to get these people out. Lo ma kida, you have no right to collect money and collect taxes from people where you cannot deliver services. And from now on forward, لازم يكون في طريقة إنه الموية ده يوصل بيه. There have to be طريقة إنه the fire department لازم يلحق السوق. There have to be a way. There have to be a way, Adut. So علاج is not because you just showed up. علاج is not just because you saw people crying and devastated. And هنا we need solution. أيوة نعم, devastation past. Okay? Crying past. But now let us get into the solution. The solution is to compensate everybody. جيبوا القروش اللي انت سرقتيه وانت وخالك والقروش اللي ابوك سرقوا والقروش اللي انت شلتيه في بيت بولميل. اوكي؟ خدوا القروش ده في الترابيزه. حلوا بيه مشاكل الجنوبيين. For once القروش خالك سرقوا في جنوب السودان ده حتى لو كان عاش في جريك عمره ما كان هيلقاه. عمره. You could have never find that money. So the money that your uncle stole, والقروش اللي مع أمك والقروش معاكي والقروش مع أبوكي, خدوا القروش ده في ترابيزة. Help الجنوبين. Compensate أي زول له دكان في السوق. Don't tell me there's no money. Don't tell me the gas is closed وما في قروش. لا لا, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. We want money. We want people to be compensated. والحاجات اللي قلت لك ده, they have to be في محله. That is the only way forward. Okay? لأنه أدود, شغلك is not a position. Your job is not, the position you have is not a position. The position you have, ده مجرد ستارة. But we all knew what did you came for. We all knew you came to rescue your father. Okay? Because your dad was going at the early stage of dementia. Your father is going at the early stage of lack of mobility. You came in and you stepped in to rescue your dad's leadership. And هنا عارفين. We all know that. And we also know that you're the one who's been making changes and decisions behind the scene. We all know that. Okay? And هنا عارفين الكلام ده كله. And هنا عارفين إنه why did you fought so hard عشان يحطوه في البوزيشن ده so you can help your dad with making decisions. فالنظافة اللي حصل في J1, we know you are behind it. النظافة that is happening everywhere else in the country, we know you are behind it. But أنا داير أقول إنه practice what you preach, Adut. Practice what you preach. And what you preach should match what in the book. I demand you, as a normal citizen of South Sudan, Al-Hassal, Fisuk, all these people need to be compensated. And don't tell me, Lina, where is the budget going to come from? Don't tell me that Jas Makful Balu Talata Shore. We all know that. You have accumulated a century of resources in Sudan. The Kulu got for Betcom. Al Gurush and into for Bolmel, it can compensate everybody in the market. لأنه القروش اللي انتوا شفتوه في بيت بولميل ما شلتوه وديه لا ما في زول شالوا ودوه بيتكم طوالي. So that money must come out and the people in the market must be compensated. And moving forward there have to be a concrete structure of that market. ولازم يكون في credited professional fire department train, and there have to be open training abroad. Adut, there have to be training open abroad for all the fire department in Juba and outside of Juba. So in all the states, lazim yakun fi fire department. Fi 10 state and 3 administrative area, lazim yakun fi fire department. And all these people have to be sent abroad to get the courses, so they can be professional, equipped in what they are doing. And don't tell me that you don't mind akum grush. La indakum grush. Wutu kutu pressure go grush for zaman da kulo tamal bayu shuno. That need to happen. Lazim yakun fi credited fire department fi Juba. Uma wahid. There have to be more than one. There have to be at least 4 fire department for Juba, at least to begin with. Lazim yakun fi arba, at least. And they're all professional trained abroad. Open training. And you guys have to fund it. ولازم يكون في fire equipments جايين من برا. ولازم يكون في fire accredited fire department that is built and is equipped and it meet the standard of fire department internationally, Adut. And don't tell me that you don't have the money for it. You have the money for it. You have the money. Don't tell me you don't have the money for it. We need at least 4 for Juba. And then we need it for states. And there have to be open training, Lena's Del. And they have to go abroad to get that training. Whether no dakhil Africa or kharij Africa, there have to be training for these people. ولازم يكون في fire department equipment guarding for every department. And don't tell me there's no budget. You have the budget, Adut. You have the budget. You need to dengari utagumi. You need to find a budget for this. It need to happen. Okay? Now, that's all I can tell you. وما في زول حيقول لك الكلام ده. Okay? لأنه إحنا فعلا تعبنا. You cannot just come and say you want to replace your dad and you want to glide in. Adut, you cannot just glide into power because of suhula. You cannot just glide in while you are part of the corruption itself. You cannot just glide in like that بالسهولة وتلبس لنا بدلة وتتشيق وتتعنقي while you are coming to the fireside. You cannot just do that, Adut. You can't. فجنوبين, that is my message to my dear beloved sister, Adut Kiir Mayadit. Adut, that is what is requested and that is what is required of you. That's what needs to be done. If that is not done, then what the tears that you have shed today, they were all crocodiles. There is nothing in it that is actually true. Okay? So, I want to leave that there. I want to leave that there. Now, I will shift from here because I want to leave a few things in Tongmonjang. Okay? Because there are a few things sometimes lazim tilgala so Monjinko can understand. Okay? And then I will stop here. The reason why I'm going to keep this video long is because I know Adut, she can listen to it. Adut, kuy balagin kinya bae. Kuy balagin kan ko nyir Monjang. Kuy balagin ya ko nyir warap. koi balaginia ko ka jawan wo chulu suffer ko monjeng under your father leadership kiting 63 tribe adut ayekle monjang ci bay raj 63 tribe ayekle la monjang ci bay raj kwa ben ko la ben monjang yi ka de monjang yi le Kiir ma ya di le ke bañ ak ka ci lu yeen ke ga liw adut kwa ben ko la ben monjang yi ko yo monjang da ci pori hak ko wi bijal ko go biet adut o go biet o ci kaman o ka men o ge ben wur len wur ci ko ma jadut wur ci ko ma kwa ben ko la ben ko monjeng ko len wa rap ci ko ma ko kene ko dud ko mi do rap okay e kene ko duro ko mi do rap kwa ben ko la ben wa rap okay kalela wan ka ci ko ma kwa ben ko la ben wan ci le exatu kala lo yin pa nun yet ka yina dud wan bi yin a ci kaju ja pay de ci la dud inje bi ci wur len wur era lo ke miskin era lo ke rampat era lo ke rana won ku ko lo rat wan wur en rajunu ba Sudan e wur en jo kek ke secretary tribe e wur en jo walin jang e wur en jo diel ta utin madin ko wur ayi ga fursa siqa inji yegen fi aspelam ko wur ci bay ba koy ma jadut wur el wela ke de kala ka ke aspelam ci wi ping ko ke de kala ka garama biyo ci wi ping ko garama biyo biyen adut ko mi warap o ci gubrem len warap rat akini guir warap rat akini wura ki yegi dol ku yira raddu we ca ka dom adut we ca ka dom ga wi bar dol ba ya pan chol warap ka ya de adut ca dol ca ya pan chol warap akani ya yin raddu e lai la warap ni inchela kumen aya jale warap ci bay raj warap ci koy maj warap chambay adut e warap ni chambay adut choli tie da ko mi warap e warap ben en chambay le bi tweet le belwel ka ci we cham a ce tui kun kolwan ja ke la nyol jol to kol lakin tuji ben le belwel ka ci we cham to nye ben le belwel ka ci we cham adut apuk le belwel panedun le belwel ka ci we cham le belwel ka ci we cham adut a won bai pandun ke ci wur ka tum ko ke ga wen rot ka ci rot ping ci we cham ben a gok ci we cham ben ko mena yelo ka we da wen ka bai rai mena yelo ka we da wen ke ka cham bai lakini adu de we da wen ben ke cham bai e yi ni tok ko mor ko nor ko wulen ko ban wulen a we ka cham bai adut a we ka cham bai fasad e lo nor e lo gorgori nor a che fasad lebe kan tiong nyen di chok runa tiar adut ko nor men jole lo ko be junubin makamaj ashan ba makta bu wur ba lo na da fu adut cha nor cha maj ka chi nor ka loy chin monjang cha ka loy u ka chi nor ka loy achin junubi cha ka loy adut choro le ro ri da kol achin junubi cha ka loy kwa yi ba choga dil wala dai no wura je twan ko wi ba wunyen wuro ba tiyogi ke mo fru ba no ba ja kan jog nor ba nur manor mach cha nor cha mach adut yin yen durar cha ra mach ni adut cha ra mach enin yen dutan cha mach ni yin yen du cha mach ni because adut yin corruption ken liutin companies ke shur ka jangan to ko ban ke bol mel chire yin tatin we bol mel adut resources mining ke chiga jangan matin adut che yin the only beneficiary e ka don we ka kele to know okay we just aje junuba chinga lu afi minno kuna mawarid ke ban be fi Katoria no ke ga adut kuna mawarid ke baba fi bibor edon ke gaten kuna mawarid ke baba ki man dahba wul edon ci laten ku jam mawarid junu ba sudan ben be sifa hamadut edon ci gaten adun man ka ko tinin ka lom go beke ga tin yi gob ko rapiat. The problem is you are holding all this money kwa ci tak tin yi gob hada ha ci tin yi gob kwa ci wala ci ka ja tin yi gob ka ye yo gnu yin ne be en bi junub ka ba loy fooled angiko ba ni yin you are part of it kwa ye part of it adut men yo in ben ba ben maktabi a chelo yimbu koj ke refugees adu sa koj ke refugees raga mo kol wane chelo ka lui men chi ke gek mo lu ko ga chi ke shamal tani chi de bi ke e mu cha ba lo kol wane adu a strategy yo jaba down in place jaba ka ba ja ka ba aken ka ba ko mun wala da ke gamen wala da ke gamen da ka chalo ite chang chalo ite matino ken we walu ke collected ku jo suk jo tinga dut ko ya le ke warap pen chambai wan wo grod o mi warap o ngongin ye share bo ja ken share bla bu da ko ba ke ga jor ku yet ke ku le ga be share bo ja ga dut akila ayen de chi wo share chak lo ya dut ba share ba ya warap ko che fadin mu cham ke we ur lakin wego no rea o che fadin lakin yi share pat share kin ba we ba cham go bol me o yi mo joko bol me ari ada se gene yeto ka dud che mo fru ba nyu bol me lo to lwel ka yit adil bu ja jam ko mo nje yit bu ka lwel to ga mo ko lwan ja ga nyu e wo ti ma dinga wul ti ka lad for 7 months lakin alwel yit ater ke ko ka dil dud ka yin ka le ba ja le bol me lo ga wo ti nyu jito kiti tulwel ka yen ka yit enji madinga wule che kwat ngi yich e kwat ka yiten bi ka yit aje ka yit ko 7 months lakini aje lwele o janyu bo amonje bu yit bu ka te dot ti jogo lwele cho ka dil o nyut bu ja yit da te to ka dil adut ka le ba ja le bol me lo le ba ja le bol me lo menin we nyu je tok share to karil share pat la warap a cho la chi we bol me chen we jam we share tab na yin mu ke lo la ba share ba yat share ayat chi cha ga jam dok to jole bol me ke chi ma kol pio chi yo ke yi munazam ku jo fir ba jo kadut bol me to ka lon chen ja chwar today e chi yo ka de ga pia wi ba loy ko jo bol me jo ben ko jo ba ra yitini no haram ko harame lakini riyo to yo ga rande ke de na zam adut yi dai ka lo yari no keti yid ay ka lo yari no ya na do buke gaten wala buke gaten buka kwa lo ko buka lakini yid atet ke yid by doing a deal ka share pat la panjol warap tetin adut asa metiro kan boda shambila warap a share bi luñ ko ben ka da arabia shambila ka jël min juba le bila warap enin ka di ke ko lo dole enin ka di adut ko go matin wa e ka ja luela la ka wa cham warabich adure ju e warap men chambai e warap en chambai men jo wek la tani we bol mel ko cham ka bayi alwel matile chwera tet ka bol mel la bada PhD lakin yin le bajal fi master degree yin we ur le bajal fi PhD le bajal tenan ya Lina Parek mal jam yit okay yida tet ke ga dut kayar ko balagi jana bayi tenine lwel ka wi banye no wur banyai tenine lwel ka wi ba junu ba chok tenine lwel ka wi ino ko ba junu ba lo ka sabo adur ke do junu do be lo ka sabo chama wur len wura kila tungulu junub kasabu ke yelwela like innocent wura kila tungulu junub kasabu ke yelwela galien kaka chiyok ke lui ka ki ka yok wura ki junub lu kasabu ke yelwela ka chin ka wi solution adut while wura ki kwej mutalimin bai ko wura ki kwej musaqafin ko wura ki kwej ka ngai luai wura yela ko chwer chi den ele bai chwer chi den ene la bai kullu marra chwer chi den okay chwer chi den ene la bai kullu marra okay what about kala mag min kalbi adud ajinga nyangwe video kani because I know you can watch it all right kala jola kana adud jola kana asaman the rest of South Sudan can we develop the rest of South Sudan can we develop adud Joe Jigladi. And you are the only beneficiary of Ranjot Kirmayadid. You are the only one responsible of all these natural resources in Sudan. Joe Jala to know Adut. Where Jigladi. Yin Mirabiyin Musaifa Wilada Sakit Musaifa Nissa Wilada. Nasir Lebiayi Junuba Bellaton for free. Aliw Adut. Musaifa Wilada. Okay? Musaifa Wilada Winissa. Musaifa Wilada Winissa. Okay. Aliw. Adut. Kwa I'm a mother. How are you a mother while you know Sudan again Musaifa Wilada Winissa? Libya ayi Junubia Lebelaton for free. How are you mother while you know I can Junubia Lebela ayi Musaifa Kemediakin? Okay, for free. Aliw. Adut. Aliw. أكين مستشفى الشرطة مستشفى الشرطة كده تفي ستيت أول بير على تلاليو no James a Joao don't go there كنا كنا يالي مدين عوي ويك مدين عوي ونيار بارا كان كي كودوني كنا كنا يالي مدين عوي خالص كنا حقيقة معروف كده وقبن أكيد ملاك خالص كنا يالي مدين عوي لأنه يالي مدين عوي أكيد لوي كشوار كتير رانجول بولمي رانجوا كأجي شو كشوار كوتشي بين يالي كان كوتشي كوايا كلوه يالي مدين عوي بجا كوي كوي كوتشي بول بن بكي يشوار كأنجي ملاك كيين كوايا كي كابنجول مدين عوي كني يالي so don't try to go there that card doesn't work adeka ko week bakalwel painting alwel ake kan die wait go balo yoga in my own time ke jamten ayit ke galwel ke kwa yit ke galwel ke ko monjen ko jinubin ko bakalen ne kir mayadit ajina laga ka we ka chepun ajina laga ka we ka je ka mo piwa dok am jalo jam ka we baden mose bien nyang pinten anyang pin la adut kir we ba ka jalo yok ko kuna jadal chating and jamten ke adut kir balaka won kira le bakalage bakalaka won kira le bakalage latina we balo yok so please keep what to yourself kayina dude awi balwela musayfa wilada unisa aliu share pat lebla panchol warap ne jalwela kolle yen warap ajuwe jam e share pat la kan liu za to samran jak bu jak adut kayan ku balaki ki ashaba video cho bara pai ko wi papin kayu kweda rabia kayu diao in the back seat getting room you jintra rabia I want you batao on in a very low value kupengen getting ko kwade kidi chol juba kayu kwed while you are listening to me learn kaleka yinte kan chin junubi bukale agin de chan kalu arrange ana to gori en bukale agin the way they are arranged ana junubi atok be lagin ka nyen wa rap ka ya mon jang chiman yin bukale agin ka arrange like that ana to gana bukale agin while I'm not worried inu yin de ka balu yan because an che father cha bala junuba Sudan even ana to gana bukale agin kala because ana ma muhtaj minni kai haja Yeah, I took Lina Parek, and a bell again, like a arrange. Kayana Adut, Kachi Ro Jamala Malabai, Mujamala Marquis. Get your resources, Juba Sudan. Are you Raja Kwan in your name? Resources, Juba Sudan Adut, are you Raja Kwan in your name? While South Sudan is left dry, South Sudan is left hopeless. South Sudan is left hopeless. Eur, and you know, Sudan Tower with an apple. Kayina Dut Kuibalagi, Ubalena by Pew Kuna 1 Kin Kaladiao, Achakati. And Kokudur, and I know, Kinesiasa West. And I recognize it. I do not get recognize. But Kawuncha Lokan Achi Pew Kage Ajol Kege Siasa West. It says when you are going to a situation, try to relate, okay, to the people as much as you can. And if you cannot, fake it. It's Siasa West. Siasa West, it says when you go to a situation, okay, try to relate. And if you cannot, fake it. And that's exactly what you did. You tried to relate and you couldn't. So you faked it and you cried. And it's Siasa West again. So in just Siasa Dan Australia then and that's what you did earlier. Kaya ku balagin mga bay, ay balala duro jita hap, o jita hap pay. Ka chuta hap pay, ka command you noob tan wur, dube nyok. Eka ne wure ralo ke miskin, kolorat ni yena kui kolorat, okay? Kolorat ka kui kolorat, jadi. Ene kajaba lo yenin. You are behaving ke innocent. You are behaving ke sincerely connected to the people of South Sudan, while in reality you are not feeling their pain. Because when you feel the pain of the people, it is when you find solutions. It is the only time you could actually say, "I feel your pain." It is when you help to find solution to someone's pain, and you are not finding solution to the people of South Sudan. And because of that, and I legin kulala wur achibanyal because SPLM have a hierarchy kochiteki. Lakin yin bezat achila bala banyi kache junube chigam. Keti wur achiban because SPLM the rule, because SPLM ayilweke rambe hierarchy. So if that is the case, that's fine. Lakin yin achambaba Adut imbaban because of the people of South Sudan. Quiet people of South Sudan ke visually ba kanyana bai ka kanka diak ka we bakalo immediately. Kanka diak ka we bakalo immediately. Number one, it do not mislead the people of South Sudan. Wura Junuba Sudan chakalo mislead ke innocent while ke innocent. Achi Junuba chilo mislead ke leko we solution ko we solution. Achi Junuba chilo mislead ke lo la yen ka kiran yora lu ke yen while wura che kam kai lu ke yen che we kai deng no. Okay, so don't mislead the people of South Sudan, number one. Number two, release the resources of Juba Sudan. Let them to be used to benefit South Sudan. Release Adut, release the resources of South Sudan to be used for the benefit of South Sudan. Okay, and number three, be sincere, truly be sincere in what you're doing. So the people of South Sudan can actually relate to you. Be sincere. Do not mislead the people of South Sudan like your dad did. Okay? Release the resources of South Sudan to be used for the interests of South Sudan. Okay? And be sincere with the people of South Sudan. Be sincere, dude, so the people of South Sudan can actually relate with you. Lakin madinyin ichuben wich. Okay? Madinyin ichuben wich. Misleading ichuben wich. Okay? Confusion ichuben wich. Abadam wur. Kwa lo ben kangijinu ka people of South Sudan ke gabi kwany. Our people of South Sudan ke gabi gam. Kwa chambu gam, you must work to the people of South Sudan. And you must work with the interest of the people of South Sudan. Other than that, you are not relevant. Other than that, you are not relevant. you have to work for the interest of South Sudan. As your interest the Ur, as your interest Nor, as your interest everybody in your family. Deal, you have potential and you can actually come to the leadership. People of South Sudan, you must relate to the people of South Sudan. You must release the resources of South Sudan to be used for the interests of South Sudan and for the betterment of South Sudan and to develop South Sudan. Achewe bela jamdu Adut. Kwachira lebele hegine ya Lina Parek. Achira lebele Adut. Ukilegani yine wadun wajidi hai. Wajidi hai. And I am talking to you sincerely from my heart. Adut. And I can go on for 2 hours. And I don't care about Lina Parek. But I am sincerely talking to you from my heart. And jam kayin kaya ting Junubia, and akran kaya ting Junuba Sudan, and jam kayin kaya Junubia. Okay? And jam kayin Adut kaya Junubia. I don't care, and we'll be mading, I will wait tomorrow. I don't care about what other people are going to say. But I am sincerely talking to you, kaya ting Junuba Sudan. I am sincerely talking to you, kaya Junub. I'm sincerely talking to you, kaya Monjang. And I'm sincerely talking to you, kaya Wara. Something Adut need to be done. Something need to be done. Okay? Something Adut need to be done. There are so many problems in every single department and they need to be done correctly. And we cannot be misled anymore. We cannot be misled anymore. We have been misled for 20 years by your father. And we cannot be misled anymore. So your tears does not mislead the people of South Sudan. We know why you were there. And we know why did you showed up in suit. We know exactly why you were there. And because we know why you were there, I want you to correct it. And I want you to correct it in the right way. And I don't care who's going to come after me. As long as you know deep down that a woman like you in the West has told you the truth. That's it. I will stop here. I will read your comments. Okay, except comment with Mading I will amel garanga ya tingitan ke busy mata wana man chin nyanya tinga chin ba bil ku ben gat ku ben chin bil ku ben gat keti amel ya ting mata wan e ben gara ba 2 seconds ba no ku ben gat ka tinga bil chin to ka gat Amel is shocked. I think Amel ke busy telephone ya thio ku ben ngai. She doesn't believe but I can't believe mom to hear it. She's busy. She's writing comments. She's doing a screen recording. She's making sure that you download. She want to make sure. Amel, I know you're busy and you are in Ontario. So this is 12:54 for Ontario. And Amel Nyanka is busy. She's trying to record it. She's trying to text. She's trying to write. She's sharing it. She's doing everything she can. Oh, God. Anyway, guys, I'm going to put this music and I'm going to read your comments. I just want to know. My sister, Amel, she's really busy. Amel can imagine 12:54 and Amel is still awake for Ontario. Anyways. All right, guys, I'm gonna read your comments and I'm gonna leave this music. I love this music, by the way, by Wida, by Kong JJ, my favorite song of all time. Okay, our country. So I'm gonna leave this song and I'm gonna be reading your comments while I'm here. All right. For those of you that send me the request to add something, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna call you because I want to leave this message as pure, authentic, and I'm fully responsible of my words. So I wanted to go out like that. So I don't want anybody else to be involved. Okay, I wanted to go out like that because I want to be responsible of my own statements. So if I don't invite you, it's not because I don't want you to come to my show. It's because I want to live it the way raw as it is, so she can listen to it. And I want to be responsible of my own statements. So that's the reason why, guys, if I don't call you. Other than that, I'm going to leave this music for a few seconds, and I'm going to read the comments. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Somebody is telling me, Lina, leave just lock off, close the show, and leave it there. Okay, so I agree with that person. I will leave it here. And if anything comes out from this show, I'll respond to it in a different show. But I will leave it as raw as it is. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I just want to say that South Sudan belongs to all of us. Okay, we can argue, we can disagree, we can insult ourselves, but at the end of the day, this country belongs to all of us, and we want the same thing. We might not know how to get there. We might not have the same strategy. We might not have the same approach, but we all agree that this country needs a radical change. We all agree that there is a tribalism that needs to be fixed in order for all of us to come together. We can all be in different parts of South Sudan. We can be tribalists, we can be sectionalists, we can be opposition, we can be government supporters, we can be in the system, we can be against the system. Whatever the case is, at the end of the day, we are South Sudanese, and we want the interest and the best for this country. وما في زول عنده قوة يطرد الزول التاني out of this country, believe it or not. Okay, ما في زول, ما في قبيلة عنده قوة يطرد أي قبيلة تاني out of this country. That is the fact. يعني ممكن نشتم نفوسنا, ممكن نعمل, but the facts still remain. So, I said everything Adut, and everything I said is from my heart as a woman, as somebody who believes in change, as somebody who knows what has happened and what this country needs. And I think you have listened to so many people in this regard, okay? My brother, Edward Chek, has a room today, and it was a very informative room. And I really hope that you will find ways to go to Clubhouse and listen to the recording. جنوبين كانوا هناك, they have spoken, وقالوا كل شيء. If you are for change, if you are truly for change, and you're trying to better South Sudan and try to correct your father's legacy, please find Edward Chek room today. Room today. Edward Chek had a room about this issue, and جنوبين اتكلموا واتكلموا من قلوبهم يعني. So if you can go and find that recording, listen to, is what will change you. It will change your perspective. It will make you hear the voices of South Sudan. Okay, because I know you don't hear the voices in South Sudan, in Juba, because everybody's afraid. But you need to listen to the voices that are hiding in Clubhouse. Because in Clubhouse, it is where you can find South Sudanese. In Clubhouse, it is where you can hear the voices of South Sudan. So I want you to find time after you listen to what I said. I also want you to listen to my brother Edward Chek room, okay, on the issue of burning of custom market. هتستمعي وهتستمعي لنسوان الجنوبيين, لرجال الجنوبيين, لأحباء الجنوبيين. You can listen to them seriously. So please take your time. There's nothing important for University of Sudan. You work only 4 hours, and you have the rest of hours. So instead of you listening and watching your satellite, turn your satellite off, and listen to the people of South Sudan. Adut, turn off the satellite and listen to the people of South Sudan. Okay? Go and listen to Brother Edward Chek room for Clubhouse. You will hear the voices of people of South Sudan. And that's where you need to be. Because really, that's where you hear the truth. The painful truth that your dad doesn't hear. It is the only moment you will face the truth. Come in with a fake account. Okay? Get yourself a number, create a fake account, and get into Edward Chek room. get into the other South Sudanese room and listen to the people of South Sudan. You don't have to come in as a dude. Create yourself a fake account. That is the only place you can listen to the people of South Sudan. Okay? So, it's not only Lina Parek that is speaking. Thank you very much, everybody. Have yourself a wonderful night. I greet all of you. See you guys next time.